Hello friends, welcome to this masterclass and today is Friday, so I'm in front of you and we are going to basically discuss about the entrepreneurship which is in the online space, and it starts with creating your niche. By the way, my name is Chandrakant, just in case if you don't remember, and I'm your host today. In this masterclass we will discuss about how you can build your online business. However, before you embark on this journey of building your online business, you have to know what is your sweet spot, what is your niche area, and therefore this is an important subject because everything starts by identifying your niche. If you do not have the niche identified, then all other steps which will follow will not result in good result, in a good place. So it is very important to start your niche. By the way, we are live right now, and you can actually send in your questions. Just in case if you have any questions regarding, if you want to start your business, how do you want to do it, anything which is related to business, you can actually use the chat function. Your messages will get displayed here. Also, we allow online viewers to join us with camera and microphone. So the process for defining for joining the online with me with your mic and camera, you can it is actually given in the description. Go through that, and I'm waiting. All lines are open. You can join me live and we can have a discussion around this subject, which is how do you create online niche. All right, so online niche is a subject today we are going to discuss about this. So let's straight away dive deep and let's look at what is the first point that we need to discuss. I mean, how do you create niche? It's very easier that if you think that this is my expertise, or you have an idea, you think that this is something which is going to yield good result because there are other 100 people in the market who are doing the business in the same arena, in the same area. So why not I start this business and I will also be very successful. However, those 100 people would have done everything by the book. They would have done lot of research, they would have done marketing analysis, they would have done competitive analysis, and based on that they would have created an area for themselves. And there is always a difference whenever you are a business person. There is always a difference that you yourself bring on the table, and you become an X factor in success of the business. Therefore, when you're starting a business, you need to know your sweet spot. What is that you're good at? Why customers will like you? So I think that is the first step, and defining expertise. This is what we are talking about. So when we talk about understand defining expertise, then let's look at what it involves when it comes to defining expertise. Number one is your strength. What is your core strength? Some people have core strength in the area of designing, because you are the CEO, you are the leader of your company, but what are your core strength? The core strength could be some sort of supply chain. When you are able to create your supply chain, you are very good at it. You are very good in operations. Some people may be very good in designing things. Some people may be good in communications. Some people may be good in basically planning things. So when you are defining your skill set, you need to basically do a scientific study around it. You need to basically understand what is that you're good at. Why this is important? Simply because if you do not have the answer, what is your strength, then everything else will not fall in place. Subsequently, whatever you plan, if it is not linked back to back with your strength, with your core strength, it will not fall in place. Simply because, let's take an example. If you have an employee and you're trying to tell him something, but if you are not very confident about that subject, your employee may not feel very good. They may start feeling that, look, this person, my boss, doesn't know half the story and trying to guide me to complete the 100% story. So I think this is something which is not good, and I think you need to look at how you can define expertise in a very systematic manner. This cannot be done over the board, over the table. It will require some thinking. It will require some area where you need to do little bit of analysis, because you may feel that you are strong in certain areas, but you also need to evaluate whether you're really strong in those areas or you're just thinking that you're strong. So I think this is important to look at when you define your expertise, and it's really critical when it comes to looking at the expertise. Second level is the interest. When you talk about thinking about your strength, you also need to think what is interesting. I mean, you have the strength, you have the capability, but is it interesting enough? Do you have the interest in that area? Because if you do not have the interest in that area, then chances are that you will not like what you're doing. So you have the strength, but you also have inclination. And why this interest is important, but inclination is important, or the sweet spot, because your mind will actually propel you to learn more and more about this subject that you're trying to find strength into. So even if you do not have a lot of strength, say for example, if you have only 80% strength, but then there is a lot of interest in you will like to propel further and look at basically towards this subject, and you will actually become more resilient. You will actually gather strength. So I think having interest is also very, very important, and therefore it is an important thing while you are on a journey to look at your sweet spot. Now let's look at when you are defining your expertise, let's look at unique skills. What are the unique skills that you have? So if you look at the unique skills, then in order to achieve your expertise, you need to gather certain skills. For example, just throwing some examples here. You are very good in bookkeeping, which is a very good skill. You are very good in calculations, which is another skill. So if you have an interest, for example, if you embark on a journey of building an analytical tool, then the skill of measuring profit and loss, bookkeeping, will be very handy. It will become absolutely necessary for you to have this skill, and therefore for defining your skill sets, it is important to have these kind of skills that you must have. So when you are actually defining your expertise, you will actually embark on a journey of not only identifying your strength, you will now really into your interest area and also what skills you have. So you will be forced to identify based on your skills. Do you feel interested enough to nurture those skills further so that you actually develop more strength? Going forward, what is the other area that you must have? And that is your how you can value add to your customers. How will you bring value to your customers by having these skills, by this expertise, and also by interest? Can you develop something which will be of certain value? So when you're thinking about expertise, you're also thinking about whether it is valuable enough. Because suppose if you're very good in sports activity, but can you do businesses in sport arena which will actually generate revenue not only for you, for your employee, also for your customers? Will it bring any value? So I think when you're defining your expertise, you have to systematically look at this whole arena of looking at from where you are coming. What is that one thing that makes you tick? What is that one thing that makes you super strong as compared to others? So I think this is something which you need to keep in mind while generating your expertise. What we are doing right now, we are actually trying to help you identify your expertise, although the main topic is the online business, and we are basically trying to achieve a niche area for you Because if you have identified the niche area, which is the sweet spot for yourself, you will be able to create an online niche for your business. And understanding the difference between online niche and the physical niche is important. You see what is happening here. I will just take some more time, because anyway we are live. If you have any questions, you can shoot it here, or if you want to join me live, you can. The process of joining me live is given here in the description below. All right. So building your niche is important, because especially in the online space, you may have some identity, some expertise defined already in the physical world, but when it comes to online, then niche definition of niche is very important, because people are not looking at you in the online space. They are not they do not look at your face, they do not look they cannot communicate directly. They have to talk to your website. And therefore, if you have not defined the expertise very well on your website, the chances are the perceived value of your expertise will not give you desired result. So first of all, identify your expertise, which will create a niche, and then think about converting that into online niche, online expertise. That should bring us to the next level in terms of your research, and also, this requires some sort of survey with your intended audience, which are basically customers. So let's talk about online niche. So if you have defined an area of expertise, you will be able to then convert that area of expertise into an online value statement, which is also known as online niche. Why this is important? It's very important because if you do not have an online niche, then it will be very difficult to continue building brand around this niche. When it comes to online space, building a brand is absolutely important. People recognize you based on your online visibility of the brand. If you do not have online visibility of your logo, your face, people do not recognize you in the online space, chances are they may look at you, but they will never end up buying anything from you, from your website. So building an online brand is important, but before you start building online brand, you have to also build online niche, because that is where it starts. And if you have to quantify your branding activity, nearly 60 to 70% of that branding will come from your online niche. So it's very, very important to build your online niche area. And also when you're actually embarking on the branding activity, which we will take up in the later on, or probably in the next session, let's restrict ourselves to the online niche enablement for your business. It is very important for you to build the whole niche area in such a way that it is long lasting. Reason being that I've already explained that majority of your brand will be derived out of your expertise. If you have an expertise defined in your web page, which is well researched, well thought through, then you don't have to change it every 6 months. Your expertise will be expertise. You don't have to change it very quickly, because building a brand takes time. And if you keep changing your expertise level, the brand building will be completely wasted in future. So make sure that you spend a lot of time thinking about these aspects rather than thinking about the business. Business will come later, but you need to look at what is your area of expertise now before you embark on any activity, whether it is investment, whether it is building a website, or you start thinking where will you open an office, etc., what will you do, and start making this castles in air. I think the first thing that you must do is identify the niche on plain paper, with a pen and paper and only your mind. You have to think what is your expertise, because most important part for a leader is this. Second step would be to do market research with your intended audience. Now, every business, I think one of the point that I have spoken in other master classes, is that when you start a business, you have to look at your first 50 customers or first 20 customers, or in some cases, if the scale is high, first 100 customers. That is the key point that you must look at. You should not look at 1,000 customers. There is no way you will be able to ever start a business and look at the 1,000 plus customers. First look at who are your close people, very friendly to you. Can they buy your software? Can they buy your hardware? Can they buy your services? Can they buy your product? You need to ask that question within your confine of the network that you have, that close community that you have, top 20, top 50, top 100, not beyond that. See how many people can buy from your close community, because these 100 customers that we are talking about, you can always pick up the phone and talk to them. So if you talk to them, are you able to convince? Even if few people buy, but are you able to have a conversation and understand whether whatever pitch you are making makes any sense? Will it bring any value to these 100 people, right? So that is very important, and therefore when we talk about audience insight, absolutely critical when it comes to your expertise, area of expertise. If you are able to pick up the phone and talk to top 100 CEOs who are part of your network and take their advice, what they think about this idea, do they validate it, and will they buy, will they spend whatever money, not the entire value, but will they be willing to pay money? So these are very, very important questions. You have identified your expertise, you have identified your sweet spot, you have identified your niche, but whether this expertise makes any sense to the 100 guys whom you know very well, will at least one of them, one or two will pay actual money and buy this expertise from you. So if these close confidant of yours do not buy anything, then this expertise is not sellable. Please understand this. You cannot start a business just because other 1,000 people are doing it. You have to basically do a testing. You have to do a research within the confinement of your own network. Very, very important. And therefore, once you have created your expertise, which I've already explained, you need to share in a some sort of a catchy newsletter or a write-up or a white paper, whatever you want to call it. You have to share this with some important people within your network to validate whether this expertise means anything. And that is why this point is very important, and that is why I'm talking here, is that market research and audience insight is absolutely important in refining your niche area, refining your expertise, because you are interested in doing this, you are having an expertise, you have certain skills, whether these things are sellable today, because if they are not sellable, then obviously you don't want to invest money in any business. Business means investment. Without investment, no business can start. So therefore this step is absolutely important, where you actually validate your idea within the network that you have, the people whom you know with first name, last name, whom you think will give you good advice. Check it out whether they will actually buy from you or not. Will they spend some money on you or not? Will they invest in your business or not? Whether this expertise is actually liked by at least your network people. If not, then probably you should move on. You should not invest in business, because if you're not getting that feedback from your known network, then I don't think you can extrapolate it to next 1,000. So the way it works is that first try to sell to 20, then scale it up to 50, then scale it up to 100, then scale it up to higher numbers. Therefore, this exercise is absolutely important. Before you start any business, identify your niche, especially we are talking about online business. It becomes much more important to do this, because there will be you will not have a face. There will be no one to talk to the client. The client will interact only with your website. And when we're talking about online, then there's no convincing. Your website has to do convincing. Therefore, this idea has to be validated upfront before it goes to the website. So let's move on to the next point, which is required before you actually start your online business, and that is narrowing down on the focus. Now, talking to your known network becomes important because that will help you create some sort of focus. Now you have, when you created your expertise, you were thinking, okay, I can do this and that, probably 10 things you can deliver. However, when you talk to your top 20 network people, they say that, okay, most of them, I mean, you conduct a survey and they say that, okay, look, out of these 10 people, they are mostly interested in top 2. Now that is a very good input, because now you will be able to focus, bring a lot of focus in what exactly you want your business to be doing, what exactly your business would be all about, because you have expertise in the 10 different areas, but customers do not want 8, they only want 2. So then it's become very clear that you have brought the focus back to the service delivery, and here you're talking about something on which you can build a business, because you have expertise for higher, for higher ground, which you can leverage in future. You can probably do the same exercise again, and you can probably expand the business, diversify. That is good. But then right now you have a clear focus that out of these 10 expert areas that I have, I will start my business only in 1 or 2, and your business will focus on only these 1 and 2. Very, very important input that you need to do. Now, you will not reach this point if you have not done the first 3 points, which is you have not done the thinking, you have not done analysis within yourself, that what is that you want to do. You have not checked with the network, that your own family and friends, the CEOs who will be willing to pay you money to buy these things, and then only you can bring focus. So it's very, very systematic. I'm telling you step by step how you can go forward. So narrowing down on the focus will happen only if you have done the previous 2 steps. So make sure that this video you watch again and again to know exactly how you are doing these things. All right, let's move forward. And what is the next point that we must keep in mind? Now we have identified about what my business will be. I know exactly what is that I'm going to offer to my clients. So crafting a niche statement, making that clear, concise value proposition that people can read quickly. You see, in today's world, nobody has time to look at, to read paragraphs, basically, to look at a larger, white paper. If you can convey, your message in like 2 lines or 3 lines, that is the most critical part. So crafting your niche statement. So when we say niche statement, and since we are talking about online, it is important to know exactly, there is another way to put it. It's like this, your elevator pitch. When you meet somebody in the corridor, if they ask you what you do, you should be able to explain in 1 sentence what is that you do. And that is the elevator pitch. So when you are trying to attract a client with your sweet spot, with your strength, what is that is the elevator pitch which will gel with the client. The client will know exactly what is that you're looking at, what is that you are doing, why you are so expert, how you're doing it, what is your team, etc. So what is that elevator pitch that you have? So when it comes to online space, it is the most important aspect for creating stickiness. In a huge web page, if the client has to search your value proposition, then you have actually lost the whole battle. You have to make sure that you put your value proposition first. Whatever is the value, you should talk about first. The first statement that client, your visitor on the website reads is exactly what is that you are doing. Not anything else, not the fluff, not the long paragraph, nothing of that sort. The first line could be either few words or a proverb, or at the most not more than 2 sentences. Within 2 sentences, in fact, if it is shorter, it's better. You can make, if it is shorter, you can make them bold, you can make them highlight, you can change the font, you can then try different tricks to highlight this value proposition. So if people look and read that value proposition, they will stick around to your website. Then the next stuff will be visible to them, or they will be interested in scrolling down. Okay, so this guy is talking about this particular business area. He's talking about this value. How does he do it? That question will strike in their mind, and they will be propelled to read more. So therefore, creating your expertise in a way that you craft them into different segments. You identify how you have to put it, what is your elevator pitch, then slightly detailed pitch, and then after that details. If somebody wants to know more exactly how you're doing this thing, then you can probably provide a link to another page where a lot of verbose is there. So only few people who are really interested in knowing, they can go there. Otherwise, the idea should be to immediately close the deal as soon as some interest is arisen in a visitor. In online space, it's most important. If you can convey maximum meaning in minimum words, that will result into call to action. When we say call to action, it actually means there is a button there, and you are now pointing that please click this button, please buy from me. If you click this button, you will actually go to a checkout page where there will be pricing, delivery terms, etc, etc. So you are asking people to click on that button using this elevator. Therefore, to convert your business area into a statement which is very catchy, it has the right colors, it has the right position on the screen, it has the right font, it is not so small, it is large, it is visible. From whichever medium they are coming, the adjustment should happen. Those kind of things are very, very important, especially when it comes to online niche creation. So when you have a niche, you must be able to craft a good messaging around that, so that people will end up buying from your online portal. That's the whole objective, because end of the day, everything costs money. You would need a team to do all of that, and if this whole thing is not yielding in any order, what's the point in doing that, right? So therefore, make sure that you spend your time and energy. If you're not able to do that, please engage with a smart marketing person who has been there, done that. If the marketing person has done this already, chances are they will be able to do it for you as well. Now, this marketing person could be an employee, could be a partner. Choices are, there are several choices. However, if you can do it yourself, more than welcome, you can do it yourself. But nevertheless, this is an important item. How do you make an elevator pitch for an online business is an important item. You cannot ignore it. All of these things that I have spoken today in this masterclass are absolutely important, and that will help you build the online business. Now let's look at the next item, which is important for building the online business, and this is the last item today, that is related to monetization strategies. Everything happens on the online medium, on the website. So how do you basically make sure that your niche is transferred directly into revenue? We started off by building your strength, your niche, and then building the whole website around it, and then converting this whole thing into business. How do you basically intend to carry forward a visitor on your website from reading your elevator pitch to conversion? Now, when we talk about conversion, whole lot of things are involved there. Ease of, you keep hearing about governments making a statement about ease of business. How easy it is to buy from you on your website, because there is no human touch there. There is no across the counter deal that you smile around and you satisfy the customer and you end up customer spending money across the counter. There is no thing like that. The counter is your website. So how do you ensure that the entire end-to-end life cycle of engagement is engaging enough? which also includes payment. Now if your payment gateway or the payment system that you have is not smooth enough, let's say you have not integrated a payment gateway in your website, and you are you expect people to send you money by offline manner, and that is a deal breaker when it comes to online business. In my opinion, if it is online business, there should not be anything which is offline about it. Any online business must have everything online, end to end. So you have started with online niche creation to creating your elevator pitch. Now if you do not have a complete online financial system, then it will break down. Now it's not only payment collection, it also includes addressing of any grievances customers might have. They may have sent you an email, somebody has to respond. If there's a chat on your website, somebody has to intelligently respond to that. So it requires a lot of research. Now all of these things are important for you. If you have not started the business, these are the things that you have to think before you start the business, because today I've spoken about how do you create your niche, identify your sweet spot, validate the sweet spot with your top 20 potential clients, create that into a more readable thing, so that people can read, understand what is that you're talking about. Can they engage with you and pay money without any trouble? Can they actually save whatever they have done so far, revisit and do the transaction later on? In case they have a question, do they have some mechanism using which you can address the problem right then, right there? Because what happens in online, if the customer comes and in case there a chain break happens, the customer is lost forever. So the trick is to catch the customer right then, right now. So that is why it is important to have a clear monetization strategy also, because without the monetization strategy, you will never be able to do any conversion, or even if you do conversion, it will not be 100%. 100% conversion of your expertise into revenue. That will never happen. So that is why it is important to look at this aspect. Make sure that you have the right payment partner or a payment gateway connected on your website, which will provide a lot of areas of expertise for your business, and also take care of most of the activities that you have on your website. So friends, we have come to the end of our masterclass, which was about the niche area, as you can see here, or especially online niche, how you can create the online niche. Now all of these subjects that I have spoken today can be broken down further, and we will cover all of these subjects in detail in future masterclass. So friends, if you have any questions, feel free to send it across and I'll be more than happy to engage with you. So thanks for watching. As always, it was my pleasure to host you today. My name is Chandrakant, and I will catch you again the next one.